Hi guys, it's Karen Melvin here. So if you're new to the channel, I am a clinical psychotherapist from Ireland and I've spent 13 years working with adults who are estranged from one or more family members, whether that is their sons and daughters, whether it's their parents, their siblings, or anybody else in the family. I'm also an estrangement researcher. I've had one paper published called The Changing Impact and Challenges of Family Estrangement, and I'm the author of the book Navigating Family Estrangement, which is a clinical guide to working with adults who are estranged from multiple family members. Now, on social media, one thing I've been seeing for a rise of in the last few years is people, more and more people talking about dysfunctional families and toxic families and family estrangement. And these are people who come from all different backgrounds, not necessarily therapeutic backgrounds. Some seem to be coaches. Some are just talking about their own personal experiences. And I think it's great. I think it's brilliant to see more people having public discourse and really delving into really complex family dynamics. And some of these people are way more prolific than me. I don't post as much as I would like because of life and family responsibilities and work and everything else. But it's great to see more and more people doing it. But one conversation that I'm seeing more now is people talking about having really negative experiences, going to a therapist for help over their family situation, their dysfunctional family and whatnot. And why is this happening? Why are therapists getting it so wrong? And it isn't just therapists, it could be psychologists or it could be other professionals, coaches and whatnot. And people have reached out to them hoping that they would be able to meet them where they are, understand the situation, maybe at least validate their situation, and maybe offer tools and resources that help them manage some of those challenges. And why are therapists getting it wrong? And as a therapist myself, I don't want to be overcritical of therapists because I know many are doing their best, but in truth, like these stories are not new to me either. I've heard many stories over the years of people reaching out and having very bad experiences. And in fact, I cite some of the experiences in the book Navigating Family Estrangement, and I want to talk about that today. So, why are therapists getting it wrong? I think one example would be because of a lack of context, and someone may have a bit of an idea in their head in terms of what these family dynamics look like and how they play out, how they might affect someone, but without enough emotional context in terms of a deeper understanding of why people are doing what they're doing and also the effect they can have on our clients, then they may be prone to minimizing experiences or brushing them off as unimportant. And one way that plays out is if someone is describing an interaction, whether it's with a parent or with a son or daughter, and someone may just hone in on the words or what are being saying, but they're not looking past all that to the true intent behind the exchange. And often that intent is to hurt somebody. They're actually really mean to express something that will deeply hurt someone, but that gets overlooked and then they might minimize that. But then these type of exchange can happen hundreds, maybe even thousands of times over the lifespan of a relationship. And someone is constantly trying to give you this example. They said this and they said that. And if someone doesn't really understand the meaning and the impact it's having on clients, they don't have enough context. Basically, the client could have a negative experience because they don't feel like they're being heard. They don't feel like their experiences are being validated. Another problem I see is that people, therapists, professionals may be leaning on their own subjective experience with their own family and they can't see past that. And I call it the subjective blur. Again, I talk about it in the book a small bit. And that speaks to the power of family and the power of attachment and how it's very hard sometimes to see past that. And even now, I'm talking broadly about the topic of family. Whoever's watching this may automatically, due to the biology and psychology of attachment with family, may just straight go to their own place with their own family, with their own parents or sons and daughters. And which means that when we start talking negatively about family, it could be evoke very negative feelings inside of them. And even if their own family is fine, but those feelings are very uncomfortable and they may not want to go there, or they may have an inability to see past that. I do meet people all the time who they talk in such certainty around the concept of family, like they know. And like I'm doing this 13 years, and I'm still learning all the time around the complexities of family and what happens and how families fall apart on a different level, not just psychological, but cultural, religious reasons, social reasons across different parts of the planet, because there's different influences that are going to affect that. And that subjective blur makes prevent professionals from actually meeting clients where they are. Um, the next one is the lack of clinical insight and slash a lack of clinical training. And I know, I mean, I was trained I did my diploma in one counseling psychotherapy college. I did my master's somewhere else. And what I know now, I didn't learn in those colleges. Now, they were great colleges. I learned a lot. They gave me a great education, and I appreciate that. But I learned on the job through sitting with clients for years that I have been. And that's unfortunate that this material isn't actually on the curriculum of college courses. It really should be for counseling psychotherapy, for psychology, for social work, for family systems, family therapy, and all these other modalities, guidance counselors. And again, that was a core reason why I wrote this, because I saw there was a gap there. There is some really good self-help books out there, don't get me wrong, and I know a lot of those authors. They're very talented, very well trained, and they really do offer good experience. But I wanted to create something that might actually resource professionals in their work and their understanding of helping people, their clients who are struggling with their family. So that's some reason why therapists are getting it wrong. But if you are someone who has reached out to a therapist and you've had a bad experience, I would say please don't give up. Try again. Okay, because even for me, there was a point where I went back to therapy for a while. I think I went to 4 therapists before I found someone that actually resonated with me personally. And this person was just an ideal fit. They understood me, they understood what I was going through. They didn't necessarily have a deeper understanding of family estrangement or some of the dysfunctions, but they absolutely understood the impact. And with my own clinical work and with my own personal interest, personally and professionally, is the impact. How is it affecting people? These family rifts on a psychological level, on a relational level, on a social level, but not just us as individuals. How do these family dynamics affect us in our growth, in our relationships with our partners, with our kids, with our colleagues at work and everything else, but across society at large? Because it does appear like family rifts and family estrangement is growing as a phenomenon. More and more people are moving away from their family of origin, and we need to understand why that is. And I understand that people are doing that for a whole complex range of reasons, social reasons, psychological reasons, and we can't just minimize those, even if we're not necessarily comfortable with that. Just to say, family is really important to me. I think family is the bedrock of our society, and issues that happen in the family home become society's issues. But at the same time, people are moving away from family for very legitimate reasons. And as professionals and as a society at large, we need to understand why, and we need to find out what we can do about that. And I've kind of taken it upon myself to work with professionals as best I can, to educate them, to raise awareness around these complex family interactions. And there's others doing it, and I want to acknowledge their work as well. But I suppose I'm only trying to find out what I can do, where I fit into all of this. And I've kind of found myself in this educational role, which I hadn't envisioned years ago. And again, I never thought I would have written a book like Navigating Family Estrangement years ago. I didn't think it was in me. But it was there because the passion was there, and there's a genuine desire to try and help not just the people struggling with their family, but the professionals who are working with them. So look, that's it. It's a short one. I hope this was helpful. Please reach out if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to know, if you want me to talk to you about the work I do, if you even want a training course or a CPD. I'm doing so much at the moment around that, but I will try and find time to help your organization if I can. So that's it, guys. Thank you and take care. All the best.